Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new Nuggs video. In today's video, we're going on one of the worst websites on the internet known as Reddit. Reddit is a cesspool or an echo chamber of really low IQ individuals, but occasionally you do find some really funny posts, specifically in the DoorDash driver subreddit. So I'm going to be browsing it and seeing what we find. Also, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I do have the glasses on. I know, I got LASIK a couple years ago. You know, I like to throw the glasses on every once in a while. It's sort of like my alter ego. It sort of gets that dog out of me, that DOG, and I just sort of wig out. And I think, you know, for a special video like this, I think it's necessary. I think a little bit of wigging out never hurt anybody. So the first post I see here is a customer that added a 1-cent tip. Dude, my chair, it's so loud, I'm sorry. A customer added a 1-cent tip on a past Popeye's kitchen order. A 1-cent tip is a middle finger. I've had a couple of them on Earn by Time. I think DoorDash doesn't even allow them anymore. I guess obviously they do, but I don't know if somehow this one slipped through the cracks or maybe this is a fake image. But this is bullshit. I mean, that's just disrespectful. But maybe the next post here will kind of explain why, you know, you don't need to tip very much, because this person said on Facebook, this is a screenshot from Facebook, that $80 dinner would have cost $60 if they hadn't have ordered delivery. You made $15 to drive a few short miles just to drop off food for the job that you chose to do. Your tip was the delivery charges. And when I saw this, I went, okay, this is a person who doesn't understand how DoorDash works. That's fine. I know they have to be a little bit mentally slow, something like that. Because how would DoorDash make any money? In this person's eyes, if the entire $15 fee went to the driver, DoorDash is just doing it for free. They're doing it for fun. No, they're a business and they need to make money. But 4.7 thousand apes liked this comment. I mean, 5,000 people liked this comment that, you know, the entire delivery fee is their tip. These people need to be locked up in a zoo far, far away. Lock the door, throw away the key. Now, speaking of DoorDash fees, see, I didn't even plan for this to work out that way, but these transitions are really smooth, so drop a like. My brother DoorDashes food 1 to 2 times a day, and it says that they've saved $7,000 in delivery fees. Now, being a Dasher myself, I don't order food delivery because I just see how many people just come out in pajamas and smoke cigarettes with their windows up. I just don't even want to deal with it. So I pick up my own food, but some people don't. And I just can't imagine that the Dash Pass fees are saving you more than 10% of the food that you spend, right? Like maybe it's a 10% off or something. Does that mean that this guy has ordered $70,000 of DoorDash? That is insane. You should see that number. You should have a heart attack and close your DoorDash account. First, a word from today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. I love Rocket Money's cancel subscriptions feature. Rocket Money safely and securely finds subscriptions you're paying for and helps you easily cancel them. It's also really quick to do as it just takes a few taps. Rocket Money also analyzes your spending habits and lets you set a personalized budget that best works for you. I like that I can see a breakdown of my spending per category like groceries and bills, and see outliers where I'm spending too much money and make budget adjustments. Rocket Money has helped save its customers up to $740 a year when they use all the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million other members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Nuggs or click the link in the description to get started today for free. You can also unlock even more cool features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Nuggs to get started today for free. All right, guys, I've run out of cool transitions, so here we go. Here is an order that is 89.6 miles for $34. At that point, why would you even want the food anymore? Like, that shit's gonna be nasty. It's a cafe. Do you think they ordered coffee? Is that food even gonna be temperature safe by the time it arrives? Like, what? Dude, I think I need a new chair. Okay, so here we have a post where supposedly a DoorDash driver broke into a customer's house to deliver the food, where it looks like there was some sort of confrontation, and then the Dasher texted the customer and said, "Can't let your food wet. Can't let your food wet." The customer, rightfully so, responds, "Rude to enter someone's house." I would say a little bit more than rude. I would say that's illegal. And Zubin said, "It's raining like hell," and then they said, "Shame." Then the customer said, "Total violation of privacy, crazy to open someone's door without hesitation and enter their house," which is very true. Was not gonna enter, gonna put a door, and gonna wait for lazy customer. fire this guy. But I saw that and I thought that was crazy that someone would really do that. But not too long after, on the same Reddit, I saw that this happened again. Here is a separate post where this is the customer. They said, I was in the kitchen when I heard both of my doors open, glass door and front door. I stood there and froze because I knew my spouse wasn't on their way home from work yet. I heard him open both doors, set the food down, take a picture, and then he stood there for about 30 seconds ominously. And the picture that the customer posted of their delivery drop-off is the Qdoba in their house. So this isn't a one-time thing. There are Dashers that, take leave at door. They take that as leave in the door or leave in the house. These individuals need to be fired and locked up in their own little pen somewhere on Epstein's Island because they should not be allowed out in society. Okay, here we go. We've canceled this order due to inappropriate content shared in the chat, and it says the customer was mad that their order was stacked and started swearing at the Dasher, and then DoorDash, I guess, cancels the order if they swear. Right here it says customer got upset I was completing a triple dash, which, by the way, should not exist. Those just shouldn't exist. There should not be 3 orders in your car at the same time, but DoorDash actually does do this. Now, granted, it's not very common that they put 3 orders together, but it should not even be something that's possible. Another reason why I don't order DoorDash. Like, dude, I know, like, as a Dasher, it's not your fault when they send you 3 orders and then tick your acceptance rate 3% if you decline it. But, like, as a customer, I also understand, like, you want to get your fucking food, but you don't want to wait for your driver to wait at 3 restaurants and drop 2 customers off first. Like, here's a screenshot where a customer asked a driver if they could pick them up some beer, saying, yeah, the beer itself is like $20, but I'll give you 40. So, I'll give you, like, basically a $20 tip. I've had customers ask me for this before, ask them to pick them up beer, cigarettes, something like that. And every single time my answer has been no. First of all, I want to make a statement against smoking. I see online, specifically on Reddit, lots of people make statements against, Elon Musk, and they make statements against like Donald Trump. But I'm using this platform right now to make a statement against smoking. If you have a cigarette in your hand right now, take that out of your mouth and say, now is my opportunity, now is my chance to quit. Because, I might die. I might, cough a bunch, so, get phlegm everywhere. So now is, your opportunity to stop smoking. I've never smoked. I've never, picked up a vape in my life. So anyways, I tell them no. Also, the chances that they are actually 21 years old asking you to buy them cigarettes, about a 50% chance. So I would tell them to lick my nuts, respectfully. But what's not respectful is this right here. What does this post say? Make a video of yourself naked, please. That's what the Dasher said. That is crazy. What is that name? That's like the name of like a tech support, like the guys behind DoorDash that are like, hey, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience. Let me see if I can help you. That's like the name, but is that right? I don't think that's racist. But so this customer, rightfully so, went straight to DoorDash and wanted to get them banned. That should be the quickest, easiest deactivation that DoorDash has ever seen. Dasher texts customer, let me see your boobs, and that should be an easy get the boot. Maybe Papa John's will hire you, maybe Pizza Hut, but us DoorDash, like, we're gonna stand against sexual harassment. Well, no, DoorDash instead just said, I've blocked the Dasher from you for your future deliveries, and I'm filing a report so our team will take an action on the Dasher. So maybe they'll get fired, our team will look at it, but you won't get their order again. So, there's a chance that maybe they'll get in a few more orders before they're fired, and they can text other customers and let them know, that they would like to see them naked. So that's pretty cool. Here we go. This picture is just called No Tip. Here we go. Sorry for No Tip, balling on a budget. And all they ordered was alcohol, Four Loko. I've never had a Four Loko. I've heard they're pretty strong. Here's another opportunity, guys. I was just talking about the no smoking, and I think we should start sort of the same initiative against drinking. So if you are drinking, hopefully you're not driving right now, but if you are drinking, especially if you are driving, then put that drink down. If you're driving, turn yourself in. But if you're not driving, put that drink down. Maybe, get some orange juice instead. Pick up some Florida Natural. As you can see, Florida's natural. There is an S there. And just make better decisions. Drinking, it's bad on your kidneys, it's bad on your liver, it's bad on your wife when inevitably you drink too much and you guys get into an argument and you start boom, boom, boom. That doesn't always happen. I've never, but I'm not saying that always happens. All right, here is a no-tip order in the trash. Mini. So this is sort of what happens if you're a customer, you're watching, you're thinking about leaving 0. This might sort of take place. Your order might end up in the fucking trash is basically what I'm getting at. This person, there's a place in hell for you. So this is a somewhat viral post where someone said that they edited their picture so they can get their money back on DoorDash. So they took their cheeseburger from, I don't know, it doesn't look very good, and they made it pink so they could tell DoorDash that their food was raw and get a refund. But the burger wasn't really pink. So people are getting really smart with their scams here. At the end of the day, that still is a fucking scam. You are lying and stealing from DoorDash. But DoorDash has, done a little bit of stealing themselves as well. So maybe you could kind of just call it like the purge. Kind of like an all-out war, drivers versus DoorDash and customers versus DoorDash. Hello, I'm checking on the status of my order, ? Hello. To which the Dasher said, what's the status of my tip? That's ruthless. That's ruthless. So these are instructions from a customer on DoorDash. They said, please leave food by front doorstep, as well as send over a picture once it's dropped off. They put a smiley face and then they said, thank you. And then under this, under this very caring message, they said, translate if illegal. And then it's something in Spanish. I will translate that here in a second to make sure that it says the same thing. But notice there's no smiley face. And then it says in English, don't do anything sketchy. So this person is very racist. Now, obviously, racism isn't funny. We don't condone racism of any kind. It's extremely bad and all things bad. However, translate if illegal is kind of funny because it's just so ridiculous. Okay, it is just the same thing. It says, leave the food at the front door. Send me a photo once it's delivered. But then they put in, don't do anything sketchy. That is absolutely insane. This one's a little more straight to the point. This one just says, want throat. I can't tell if that's the Dasher or the customer. I think that's the customer. Yeah, that's the customer. Want throat. Something tells me DoorDash would kind of give the same policy as they did before as well, where they'd say, we won't put you with this customer again, despite the fact that that's very clearly sexual harassment. That's insane. I don't know that for sure. I hope that they did ban these people. These people should be banned instantly. But the fact that you can tell support and it's not an instant, okay, no, we've banned this person because they are a threat immediately is insane. Here we have this one and it just says, what the fuck is this? And my first thought is, I used to be a big Domino's enjoyer. That kind of looks like the lava cake from Domino's, like the lava cake. It was really like a corn syrup cake. It was just like Hershey's and it's chocolate. I don't know. Something only a kid would eat. But yeah, that's my first thought. The person said it's not poop, so that's good. I assume they sniffed it. What if it was poop and they sniffed it? Then you wouldn't want to eat any of your food. But they said that it's Taco Bell, and people in the comments were saying that this is probably what I don't eat Taco Bell. What's the cinnamon things, the balls or whatever? It's a extremely deep fried one of those. Again, we don't stand for racism of any kind, but it's sort of like an Obama-fied version of it. I really mean that in no negative connotation, but it's just the first thing that came to mind. Let's move on. Lastly, we have customer purchased Xbox Series X on DoorDash, which is, there's a good chance that might get stolen. God, that's insane. I would not trust a Dasher to shop for my $500 console and bring it to me in one piece. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, let me know down in the comments. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Dash on.